all these really successful people who give an ounce of gold, they're all saying the same thing. Where you fall, you fail, you get back up, you start shit, you do it from your heart. So don't give up. What's up, guys? It's me, Mel Carter, your favorite of the three guys on Business Untitled. Today we're doing something a bit different because it's summertime. Our schedules are crazy. We want to travel a little bit, work a lot more. So we're probably gonna start doing every other week episodes and something along these lines, which I thought was cool. I just wanted to spend some time because, like, for me, the interviews are really, really dope. And the ounce of gold is even doper because we get like a literal jewel from each person we interview. And even to me, even to Mike, to Dave, it's just fascinating to see such successful people kind of give you their take on what it takes to make it or just their advice. So I'm going to go over some of the, not every ounce of gold because we don't have time, but I'm going to go over some of the ounces of gold and kind of give my take on it because a lot of times it happened in the moment and I don't really get a chance to reflect on it the way you might. So this ounce of gold is by Snoop D-O-double-G. First of all, the fact that Snoop even let us interview him, that was crazy. Shout out to Uncle Snoop. And let's hear his ounce of gold.
We was really able to tap into some understanding on financial literacy, some understanding on mastering yourself and how to compete with yourself and not focus on your enemies, despite you do need haters and you do need enemies to know that you're doing the right thing.
So I'm going to pause that right there. So when we were talking, I remember this. I said to Snoop, I said, my enemies motivate me. And he was like, nah, nephew. He didn't call me nephew, but I wish he called me nephew. Snoop, I'm your nephew. He said, don't let your enemies motivate you. You motivate you. But you still need your enemies to motivate you a little bit. So I think that's what he was talking about there. Just kind of saying, focus on yourself first. And since he told me that, I really kind of share that with people when they're like, ooh, I have a friend right now, I won't say her or his name, but they're like, ooh, I can't wait to get my shit right to just shit on such and such. And I'm like, a long time ago, I used to think like that, but really get your shit right for you. And you can let that person motivate you without like having ill intentions.
But spend more energy on competing with yourself, bettering yourself every day. We learned that you do have to fall in order to get up. It's not a smooth path. It's a rocky road. Again.
Oh my God, I have fell so many times. And it was so cool to hear somebody bigger than life like Snoop Dogg say, you can fall so many times, and every time you fall, you got to get up. Because I always say, like, my success literally is me failing, let's say falling 90 times, but getting up every single time and succeeding 8 times. I got 2 more really good successes to come this year, and then a lot more.
But if you meant for it, you're going to keep climbing till you get to the mountaintop. And even when you get to the mountaintop, you're not going to be satisfied because no matter how much money you make, if you're not making money to make a difference, it don't make none at all.
Whatever little success I have, like, the greatest joy in it is being able to do for other people. Don't get me wrong, I enjoy all the nice things for myself as well, but like taking care of my daughter, my sister, helping a lot of strangers, and just being able to be financially free to some extent and do a lot of good. The toy drive I do in Trinidad and many, many, many things that I do. And I think anyone with a good heart And anyone with the right intentions want to be successful, not just for themselves, but for their loved ones and for the people around them. This was an interesting one. Tom Saki. Shout out to Tom Saki. Mike said I love to do shout outs, but I do. Shout out, shout out, shout out. First of all, Tom Saki was mind blowing because he really got rich from the trash. Like, I mean, you always heard of that, like on, movies, the mob runs the trash and so on and so forth. But to meet someone who literally took trash and made it a successful business was pretty cool. So let's hear what he has to say.
I think it's what we were just talking about. I think we can really affect the world by voting consciously. And if they leave with anything, that would be the key message. And if in doubt, don't buy. Right?
If in doubt, don't buy. I think that kind of speaks for itself. If you're in doubt of something, just leave it alone. Or, you know what? I've been in doubt a couple times and it's worked out because I've figured out a way for it to work out. But sometimes when you're in doubt, might be the best thing to do is just leave it alone. That was his ounce of gold. We ready to go to the next one? Oh, man, this is, shout out to my guy. This is one of my favorite people, Eric Adams. First of all, thank you, Mayor Adams, for coming on our podcast. Eric reminds me a lot of kids from my neighborhood, and I think he is the definition of resilience and showing that you can literally do anything. Like, this man was born just as poor as me, and had a incredible career as a police officer, and then won the mayor, to be the mayor of New York City, the greatest city in the world. And he's still himself. So shout out to Eric Adams.
And I think the ounce of gold is believe in yourself. I tell my son that, and I tell whoever's come into my orbit, just believe in yourself. A bend in the road is not the end of the road, as long as you're willing to make the turn.
And you know what? That goes back to what we was just saying, believe in yourself. If you don't believe in yourself, nobody else will. I'm sitting here because I believe in myself. And Eric Adams is who he is because he believed he could be the mayor of New York City. And he went out and did it. And I also say that to my daughter, and I say that to anyone that comes into my orbit all the same. So I'm a true believer in believing in yourself. So, because if you don't believe in yourself, it's so hard to get other people to believe in you. And it's so crazy because I have a lot of people that I believe in that I truly don't believe that they believe in themselves. And they always hit a stop in the road because they don't believe in themselves. So I think that's a big thing, simple, but really big thing to take away. Believe in yourself.
And I've hit some bends in the roads, and there's never been the end of the road. And so what I'm going through now, this is a shower compared to the typhoons that I've gone through. So I could deal with a shower every day.
And I think that's another way I look at life too. On my worst days, I remember how far I come from. And, no matter what you're going through, your pain is unique to you. So I can't tell you, your pain isn't your pain because my pain is my pain. But always remember, at some point in life, it was worse. And as bad as it is in that moment, it actually could be worse. So, I completely agree with him with that. And that's one of my beliefs as well. And I think overall it's just saying that no matter what situation you're in, you can find some kind of beauty in it and find something to be thankful about.
I think it would be always take the first step, right? You got to be proactive in anything that you do. And I don't know anybody that's been successful that's been passive, right? The people that are successful, they just do. They go in and do. They see a problem. They don't complain.
Shout out to Neil. Neil made a fortune with glasses, which is crazy. But Neil and I actually sit on the board of Robinhood together. That's pretty cool. But let me rewind him for 2 seconds.
Always take the first step, right? You got to be proactive in anything that you do. And I don't know anybody that's been successful that's been passive, right? The people that are successful, they just do.
And that's another thing I really believe in. I was actually telling a friend that today, that whatever it is you want to do, whatever it is you believe in, whatever dream you have, there's always going to be 900 reasons for you not to start it. So I think that ounce of gold is so, so, so important. Take the first step. Most of the things I've done in my life, all I did was take the first step. And I took the second step, and I took the third. And I wasn't concerned about the 10th step, because by the 10th step, I will know so much that the 10th step will be easy. So you have to take the first step. So let me make it simple, like I would for myself. Just fucking get it started. No matter what you want to do in life, just get it started. You'll find a million reasons that you're going to fail, or you think you may fail. But I always say, what's worse than failing and trying is failing by not trying. And I think that's what he was saying. He doesn't know anyone that's successful that didn't just start and taking the first step.
They just do. They go in and do. They see a problem. They don't complain. They might complain about it, but they come up with a solution, and they don't just talk about the solution. They're taking the steps towards it. So if you're working in an office and the CEO is 10 layers above you, or you're the CEO, it's still the same approach. Be proactive. Anticipate what is needed and go and do it before you're asked.
And I don't think there's much more to say to that. He summed it all up. Nate Parker. Nate Parker was a good one. Nate gave a lot of game. Shout out to Mansa. I do give a lot of shout outs, right? I don't know. It's just spreading love. You know what? That spreading love thing got a little bit tainted. We're not going to talk about that. Spread love is the Brooklyn way.
You know, I have my beliefs. They're very, very, very much ingrained in who I am. I only say that to say, whoever you are out there, you know, pray that you be brought closer to your calling, and then pursue that calling with reckless abandon.
That was heavy. Pray that you are brought closer to your calling, and then pursue that calling with reckless abandonment. I don't even think there's much I could add to that. That was a bar. Nate should be a rapper.
There's not enough time for us to get caught up in things that don't have generational impact. So find out your calling. Like, even for a high school kid, if you're thinking about what you want to do, it's easy to say, I want to make money. We all want to make money. But what's your calling? What do you believe the unique calling on your life is that only you can do? And then think about how you pursue that with reckless abandon. When I realized for me it was storytelling, I threw my whole world at it, and you know that. It's what I eat and I breathe, and I see with you in music and in finance. I see with you in finance and in future-facing, technology around money, and so it's like find out your calling, and then once you figure that calling out, because that's your compass, that's your GPS, that's putting in the address. Then no matter the turns you take on the GPS that are wrong, it'll always course correct you back to whatever that calling is.
I think that spoke for itself. Like, that was a bar for one. And two, like, when you figure out what your calling is, just go forward and throw yourself all the way into it. For me, it was music, but music helped me open the doors to so many different things, restaurants, VC stuff, real estate, but it all started because I threw myself into music. standing by labels, people walking past me, going to every industry party, sneaking in, getting invited, not getting invited, just figuring out a way to be a part of my calling. So I think that one was pretty dope too. Ah, man, Gabe. Gabe is a legend. First of all, he invented the big red boots, and we went super viral because there was only 200 red pairs of boots made. So if you do not have that batch of 200, you're probably wearing some fake shit. You should probably just give it up. But let's hear what Gabe has to say. What's his ounce of gold?
Gotta take your beatings.
I like it.
It's like take your beatings.
Take your beatings. I don't know if you guys you know what? I'm going to sum this up at the end. But take your beatings. However you want to look at that. It's this, just, we'll talk about it at the end.
Yeah.
Take your beatings. It's a good one.
Take your beatings, people. This is one of my favorite podcasts. Thank you for
Gabe,
me.
Thank you so much for showing up. Yeah, crazy creative.
Greg. Hi, Greg. Greg is damn, I do cuss a lot. I'm trying not to cuss, but we got to give somebody a swear jar. It's like overdue at this point. We have a swear jar coming. That's one of the things we're going to do. We're going to add up. You know what? The next time I'm on here, I'm going to tell you guys exactly how much. I'm going to task our producers to tell us exactly how much money we owe in the swear jar. We're going to pick a person, and that person's going to come up here and collect the money. Let's hear Greg's ounce of gold.
Be an entrepreneur and you feel that you're underrepresented or you don't have the confidence. First, I said this earlier, but I will always reiterate that I genuinely believe you have everything you need to be successful. You just got to dig deep and find that confidence. And that as you venture into the world of trying to raise capital or build a business or tell people about your ideas, know that you don't need people's validation to do what you want to do. You need to be willing to work your ass off for a very long time, but you'll never get the validation you seek from others. You need to be able to do this for yourself. And my mom, when I was a young woman, said to me, Greg, you are the cake and everything else in the ice will be the icing, but you need to build a strong foundation. Men, like wealth, all these things, that'll be icing on your cake, but like, can you feel strong in your own personal foundation and be confident? Because cake in and of itself is really sweet. The icing is just the stuff on the top. And I think that especially women, we always are looking for other people to validate as opposed to just like owning who we are. So I would just say you've got this and just go for it and don't look back.
That was another bar. Greg, you should also be a rapper. But no, that was great. And like, I hope you guys realize this, like, Snoop Dogg, Gabe, Neil, Nate, Greg, the mayor, Eric Adams, they basically said the same shit. Do not give up. Believe in yourself. Take your beatings. Be confident in yourself. Like all these really successful people who give an ounce of gold to me and you, Mike and Dave, because we all take it and we all take something from it. They're all saying the same thing. So if you essentially like listen to that ounce of gold and you use that to kind of navigate things that you're doing in your life, you'll realize 7 different people or 6 or whatever we at this point are telling me the same thing. And that's all you really need to know. An ounce of gold for every entrepreneur is kind of the same story. You fall, you fail, you get back up, you start shit, you do it from your heart, you follow your passion, and you take care of the people that you take care as much. For me, I want to take care of as much people as I can. I could know you, not know you, because people took care of me. People believe in me. People believed and still believe in me. And the only reason I'm sitting here talking to you guys today is because I believed in myself. I went after everything I wanted. And number one, I had God, and I had my family, and I have really good friends and just people that I've met that gave me a chance and believed in me. Someone saw that I believed in myself so much that they were like, fuck it, I'm gonna give him a chance. So my life is owed to God, and it's owed to the people that's believing in me and believed in me since I was a kid. But that belief started with me. So believe in yourself. Don't let anything stop you. There'll always be something there to stop you. The wildest thing in the world will happen, and it's literally set up to stop you. And that's why there's 1% of people that are wildly successful, because those people are like smart enough or have enough insight or just maybe a gut feeling to realize this is not the end. It is always going to feel like the end, and that is made to trick you. So do not let anything or anyone trick you. When you give up is when you cannot move anymore, when you cannot breathe anymore, when you just hit a wall, not a bump, because so many bumps can feel like a wall. So don't give up. And I'll see you guys next week. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and just take a moment and understand why we did this show. It's really because I believe in you guys, and you guys believe in me, believe in us to even watch us. So thank you. Peace.